All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. January the 9th. And so excited to have my good, amazing man named Ben Maller, who joining me for the very first time here in 2024. Do I mention it 2024? Yes, it is. I hope he'll be here. So bear with me and fingers crossed. Hang tight, folks. Here comes Mornings with Marcel and Friends, which starts now. All right, good morning, folks. Welcome to Mornings with Marcel and Friends on this Tuesday morning, January the 9th. And I am so excited to have my good man, Ben Maller, will be along with me here on the show. And promise you, let's get this way to get a clean, proper respect. We make connections with Mr. Maller. He's from Fox Sports Radio. Catch him overnights nationally. And, of course, Benny versus the Penny. You can catch it locally here on SNY, 11:30 Sunday mornings before and after every Jets game. And, of course, yep, it is the 5th Hour Podcast. So, I can't wait to have Mr. Maller to come on by. It's really obvious. So, if he's here via StreamYard with a clean voice to say it with me for the very first time in the internet history, he'll be here. He'll be here instead. Before Ben comes your way, which show things around to what's been going on, how about what's happening here around the globe? With the latest 5 things and the verse of the day before I bring in my man, Ben Maller, coming on by. So, bear with me, folks. Here it is. In today's news headlines, the number of blood donors here in our country is at the lowest level in 2 decades as hospitals struggle to meet the demand. To shore up the critically low supply, the Red Cross and the NFL said they will offer all blood donors this month and chance to win a trip to Super Bowl in Vegas. LV double, or should I say triple I don't know what kind of number it is. So, stand by for that. Here's the rest of you need to know to get you up to speed and on with your day. Starting with extreme weather. A powerful storm is unleashing dangerous blizzard conditions across the central and eastern U.S., shutting down highways and stranded drivers in frigid temps. At the same time, parts of the south are being plummeted with hail and heavy flooding. More than 40 million people are under severe storm threats, according to Storm Prediction Center, with an enhanced risk in effect from the Florida Panhandle to the Carolinas. The fast-moving storm is making way east and will cover over 1,800 miles in 72 hours, producing notable snowfall across more than a half a dozen states. Flood watches are also in effect for cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, Philadelphia, and New York, where rainfall up to 4 inches definitely is possible. Just days after an American Airlines plug door blew off a plane mid-flight, United Airlines said it has found loose bolts on an undisclosed number of grounded Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes as well. This comes as Boeing is performing FAA mandated inspections, or the Flight Administration Association? Hello? On a total of 171 aircraft with a mid-cabin door plug installed to ensure passenger safety. United, which has more MAX 9s than any other carrier, has canceled more than 470 flights since Saturday because of the aircraft inspections, and according to the statement from United, since we began preliminary inspections, we have found instances that appear to relate to installation issue in the door plug. For example, bolts that needed additional tightening. Alaska Airlines has also said it is working with Boeing to understand what happened on Flight 1282. Now to Gaza, about 1 in every 100 people in the city has been killed since the war between Israel and Hamas began in October last year. The death toll in Gaza surpassed 22,800 this week, according to Palestinian statistics, as Israel faces pressure to minimize civilian casualties. While here in the U.S., hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters were arrested yesterday after blocking traffic across the bridges between Brooklyn and Manhattan to demand a Gaza ceasefire. Meanwhile, Israeli forces are maintaining their strikes in the wake of the Hamas attack, when militias killed more than 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and kidnapped some 200 others. As of last week, the Israeli government believed 132 from the attack was still being held in Gaza. That will be hostages, of whom dozens are thought dead. The IRS will begin accepting 2023 federal income tax returns starting January 29th, the agency announced yesterday. If you're not an early bird, the regular deadline to submit your return and pay any remaining taxes owed is 15th day of October, spring. Some tax filers, however, will have a later deadline due to state holidays or extensions granted following natural disasters. As for refunds, the Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, usually issues them within 21 days of accepting your return. And the good news is that most tax filers typically receive money back. Last year, more than 160 million returns filed. The IRS issued nearly 105 million refunds. The average refund was $3,050. That's $50, according to the filing statistics. And last but not least, NASA today is expected to announce a months-long delay of its first crew Artemis moon mission, which aims to send 4 astronauts on a journey to fly by the moon. The mission was slated to lift off in November, but is no longer expected to take place before 2025 from the sources. That's next year. And NASA inspectors general hinted at potential delays for the mission in the report months ago, citing several challenges the space agency must address before it can safely fly humans to the moon after 5 decades. Separately, Astrobotic Technology, the company that developed the first commercial lander to launch from the U.S. in 5 decades, it is abandoned an attempt to put its Peregrine spacecraft on the moon less than 24 hours after the vehicle took flight due to a fuel leak. Happening later, or should I say happening now, former President Trump is scheduled to attend an immunity hearing in his federal election interference case. The frontrunner for the GOP nomination said he won't be in the Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, the District of Columbia, to watch his lawyers argue that he has absolutely immunity from protection or prosecution. Now, the Breakfast Brows anchor of CNN, Sarah Sidner, reveals breast cancer diagnosis. Woods and Nike are parted ways. Michigan wins college football playoff national championship after a drought. 20 of the world's best soups. And Apple announces when the Vision Pro will go on sale. Some sad news. German soccer icon Franz Beckenbauer, widely considered to be one of the greatest players in the history of the game, has died at the age of 78, according to the country's football federation. He is one of the 3 men to win the World Cup as both of the player and the manager. No cause of death has been revealed. 21. That is the number of today for you on this Tuesday. That's at least how many people were injured yesterday in an apparent gas explosion at a hotel in Fort Worth, Texas, outside of Dallas, Houston, Austin, and surrounding cities. The blast caused a huge plume of smoke over downtown buildings and scattered debris on roads. Crews are searching for anyone who may still be trapped inside. And last but not least, today's quote from former First Lady Michelle Obama: "I am terrified about what could possibly happen," sharing that she's worried about the potential outcome of the presidential election this year. While she didn't mention former President Trump by name, she further explained in a podcast interview released that the November contest yesterday among the fears that keep her awake at night. This is from the website, and I'm going to tell you why before I'm going to bring in Mr. Ben Maller. I hope he'll be here momentarily. So, bear with me here. I promise you that. So, okay. Here it is. This is from CNN, and former First Lady Obama says terrified about the potential outcome of this year's election, listing November's presidential contest as among the fears that keep her awake at night. In a podcast interview release taking place on yesterday is called Jay Shetty's On Purpose. Quote, "What's going to happen in the next election? I'm terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we'll select speaks for us, holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways sometimes I think people take for granted. The fact people think that the government doesn't really even do anything." And I'm like, oh my God, does government do anything for us or everything? And we cannot take this democracy for granted. I am worried sometimes that we do. Those are the things that keep me up. Want to see it? You can catch it, and you can catch it on their YouTube channel as always for the podcast for On Purpose. And look who is here! Ben Maller! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Ben, good morning and welcome. Great to see you, my man.
Marcel, morning. Amazing.
Oh, I am so honored to have you here. Great to see you on StreamYard for the very first time, my man. I just call you on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It became a 2-time caller of the year. Some food picks, some TV picks, some great player of the years, or even the player of the weeks.
That's right. You're amazing.
I know. And of course, Blair in Maine, he is my total fraud and a total enemy of mine. Beware, keep away from the Blair hater. We're the Blair hater people, and that's why I am a proof that Blair hater is the number one.
Yeah, well said, Marcel. You yet again are a great connoisseur of words. I'm hearing some feedback, Marcel. What is going on with this feedback, Marcel? Aren't you you're the engineer? You're the head engineer. How dare you? What a beautiful day in Manhattan is that in Brooklyn behind you there, Marcel? Look at that.
Well, that's because I have the background of the World Trade Center here behind me. With the sun definitely rise, but today, as a matter of fact, Ben, it's going to be a very rain, snow, and high winds here in the Northeast, so beware for the safety, as I promise you that.
Now, fun fact, Marcel, when you started calling my radio show, you were a Russell Wilson Seattle Seahawk ambassador. I remember that. I didn't know you were Marcel from Brooklyn. I thought you were like a Seattle guy. I had no idea.
Listen here, my friend. I am a fan ambassador representing my teams. New York, Seattle, and of course, Brisbane. Trust me.
Brisbane?
Yes, that's in Queensland, Australia. No matter what wins, no matter how losses, I got you. I guarantee it.
Now, Marcel, do you actually watch my TV show, Marcel?
On SMY called Betty versus the Penny that airs Sunday mornings before the Jets game. Oh,
Look at you.
it's really awesome, that is.
I'm honored, Marcel. I'm honored that you watched the show. So how's the morning show going? Is this going well? Big audience?
Oh, it's going to be a very 30-minute show that takes place here on StreamYard and YouTube every Tuesday morning between the hours of 9 and 9:30. I have the news, I have the verse of the day, I have my own expressions of what's been going on all around me. I antize my brain, markets too, everything from start to finish. And I guarantee it, you should be there as well too.
Well, listen, I'm a big fan of yours, Marcel. You know that. I actually have a meeting I have to go to in a little bit, but I made sure. I actually, in between meetings, Marcel, I had to call into Marcel in the morning. It's that important to be on.
Myrick in the morning. Or should I say this for you? Myrick and Maller in the morning. How about that?
Where's Uncle Dynamite? Who does the show with you? Is it all you all the time?
No. Don't lie. Let's try to keep away from this private ones or all things public and to the private ones. This is a well-deserved living environment for my family.
That's right. We love your family. They take care of you, right? They support
Yes. A true well-being, a life well experience instead. Hey, stay right where you are, my friend, because coming right at you right now.
Are we doing a commercial?
No. Coming up right now, I have the verse of the day, and I want you to listen for today's verse. So keep in mind, like Austin 360 says, don't say anything. It will kick your bleep. I promise. So, Ben, stay right where you are and listen to today's verse of the day. For everyone else, here's the verse of the day.
Verse of the day for January 9th. It comes from Colossians 1, verse 9. Paul is trying to reassure the Colossians, and he says, "Since the day we heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you and asking God to fill you with the knowledge of His will through all spiritual wisdom and understanding." I'm filled where Paul wrote these words to the Christians at Colossae, but he had never been there. Despite his lack of in-person knowledge of them, he ministered effectively to them. He prayed specifically for them to better know God and His will. He assured them that they had received the complete message of the gospel of Jesus when Epaphras preached it to them. What a great idea. Let's find a mission church, maybe one we've never visited, an inner city overseas or church planted in a hostile environment, and pray consistently for that congregation, asking God to help them know Him and know His will more perfectly and reassure them of His love. Let's pray. Holy and all-powerful God, please bless my church family with a deeper knowledge and appreciation of your nature, character, and grace.
Yes, indeed.
In addition, please bless mission churches and those working with them as I add my own special churches to this prayer. Bless them with growth, health, and assurance. And most of all, bless them with knowledge of you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen indeed. That is the verse of the day, Ben, and I have to tell you that you changed from the amazing studio of Fox Sports in beautiful La La Land into the bricks. How do you think about that in the amazing background, just like mine?
Marcel, you're in Brooklyn. I got to relate to you. This is the bricks, right? I'm in the brick house. It's the Maller Brick House.
Oh, the Maller Brick House. I know it was the Maller Brick House into my background here. It could be the World Trade Center in Manhattan, seeing the sun set to rise each morning. But when it rains or snows here,
let me ask you a question.
I guarantee.
Have you walked across the Brooklyn Bridge? Have you ever actually?
I've never been to the crossing the Brooklyn Bridge ever since.
Get you out there, man. I've walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. We got to get you out there. Yeah.
How amazing that was, Ben.
Yeah. A lot of people do it every day.
Oh, by the way, instead of the word Fox Sports Radio on the lower third, it will be mine. It's going to be Marcel Myrick at mmyrick29, and yours, the same thing with Ben Maller, going to be at Ben Maller. Change the mind there, my friend. It could be.
Are you asking me to change the graphics on this?
No. I had to say the word Ben Maller at Ben Maller along with Fox Sports TV and radio host for yours as well. But I will try to say ask, please, and thank you first.
That's right. Listen, it's been great. Is there anything you want to know, Marcel? Because I do have to go. I have an important meeting I have to prepare for. So, is there anything you need? I do not want to interrupt the Marcel in the morning show. Marcel,
or should I say Myrick and Maller in the morning?
Myrick and Eminem in the morning. How about that? Eminem in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maller, Eminem in the morning. How amazing that is, Maller. How about say?
You recognize this hat? You know the logo. You're young guys. So I don't know if you know.
Oh, M&B representing. Oh, let me guess. Montreal Expos.
Look at you, Mark.
Major League Baseball.
I'm impressed. That's a team that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah. Still, Toronto Blue Jays is still the MLB's team, but the Montreal Expos has been doing a good job over these amazing, phenomenal years. But I have to tell you what, but that's what you said about me, that the Montreal Expos don't want to play anymore, but the Toronto Blue Jays...
They moved to Washington. They're in the Washington.
Yeah, the Washington Nationals since 2006.
Wow. Look at you. Unbelievable. All right, I got to go, Marcel. Anything you need before I leave, Marcel? Anything you need? I don't want to interrupt your show.
I want to take this time to have a smile, and I will put you exactly on our socials to put together as a smile with permission to see where we go. So, Ben, let's do it.
All right, get back to the
put on the camera right here.
There you go. You want me to stare at the camera? You want me to look right at the camera?
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Done.
Amazing.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, Ben. Oh, yeah. That's right. I got you on the screen taker. I'm so sorry about the full screen here on my laptop. But trust me, it costs expensive.
All right, buddy. You're the man, Marcel. Have a great show, buddy. All right, there you go.
And I will see you tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. for some TV picks. It has been a fun ride. Love to talk to you. Oh, by the way, let's say my reaction and yours too before going any further on the Michigan's end of the drought. The national championships belongs to Michigan beating Washington in the national championship last night in Houston. It is so phenomenal. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to Mr. Ben Maller for joining me here on the 100% show. And you can catch it on Fox Sports Radio nationally, Sunday through Thursday, going on in the Pacific. That will be Monday to Friday here in the East Coast. That's 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Eastern. And of course, I guarantee it, of course, Benny versus the Penny. See it on NBC Sports and, of course, on SNY right here in New York before every Jets game that airs 11:30 on Sunday mornings. Want to big thank you to Big Ben for joining me here on this 100% 30-minute show, Mornings with Marcel and Friends. And a big, well-deserved congratulations to 15-0 Michigan Wolverines, /1 in the nation from the Big Ten, and the defeating #2 Pac-12's Washington Huskies by a score of 34-14 after a 26-run National Football Championship drought. So who did this? Well, the Wolverines did indeed square off against everybody. That's the mantra that expires. They're going to play all season long. And from the NCAA to their own big 10 conference to the number 2 team in our nation last night on college football's greatest stage. On and off the field, Michigan refused to let any opponent, any NCAA investigation, or any of the 6 games. Its head coach was suspended for getting in its way of winning a national title. And when it matters most, number 1 Michigan did it again, beating number 2 Washington 34-13 before an announced crowd of 72,808 at NRG Stadium to earn the school's first national championship since 1997, where it shared the honor with Nebraska. The Wolverines assert themselves from the opening kickoff and never trailed against the Huskies. So, according to this amazing Donovan Edwards running back, I feel like this has been a perfect happy ending. And of course, a lot of personal success, failures, but our ultimate goal to win a national championship. There's no other feeling than to go, though, what we have and still come out on top. So perfect story, a lot of advisory. Coach Harbaugh is not there for 6 games. That will be a perfect story. This is from Donovan Edwards, and the player of the morning here when I was doing there for my show, or should I say his show on Fox Sports Radio over the years. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with that, with the TV picks. Running back Donovan Edwards, average an astounding 17.3 yards per carry and finished with 103 and not 1, but 2 touchdowns. So Donovan Edwards, that's right, Donovan Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, talented person, is the player of the morning. Congratulations to Michigan beating Washington by a score of 37-14. The college league season what is it? The college sports registered, or even, I don't know what kind is it, the college sports semester. That's it. The college football semester is over, but the college basketball and baseball semesters is right around just getting started, going on. Now let's go to Now let's head to this morning's investors business news for you on this Tuesday. Dow Jones futures dropped nearly 200 as Wall Street took a breather after yesterday's sharp rebound, but one major player, Netflix, controlled to her overall market slide thanks to an analyst downgrade, with Nvidia stock look to hit more record highs. So, 5% loss versus their value, while tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 futures were down 8% in pre-market action, and the S&P 500 futures dropped 6% this morning. And yesterday on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average moved up 6%, and the S&P 500 rallied 1.4%, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite advanced 2.2%. Be on the lookout for the opening bell is set to take place for you guys in just 1 minute from now. All right, that will be it for Mornings with Marcel and Friends. But before we end today's show, the word of the day is
ominous.
Yes, ominous. Something described as ominous hints or suggests that something bad is coming or it's going to happen. And I'll have the one word for you. Our fears about the picnic called being canceled were highlighted by the sight of dark, ominous clouds appearing over the horizon. That's right. Our fears about the picnic being canceled were heightened by the sight of dark, ominous clouds appearing over the horizon. O-M-I-N-O-U-S. Ominous, ladies and gentlemen. Ominous. All right, the opening bell is set to taking place where the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P started things off this Tuesday morning in the red arrows. And yesterday, the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P are in the green arrows. But how about this one in NASDAQ? So try to stay focused to being what's been going on for that. So, do stay tuned. All right. Thank you for joining Mornings with Marcel and Friends. And I'd like to thank the amazing and talented Ben Maller for joining me as always. I hope he'll be back with me sometime soon. And for everyone else, Morning News Headlines Podcast, episode 245 on Spreaker app and whatever you get your podcast from is available right now. Until next Tuesday morning, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, with another guest, this is Marcel Mark saying have a wonderful day ahead. And I will see you next week. Bye, everyone, and enjoy. Blessings. Thank you, Ben.